Okay, let's put my camera back in. I turned off the main road because I want to take a leak. And now I'm on this weird little road here that goes up a mountain. And then there's these roads here that are like blocked off with a rope. You see there's a rope on the ground that they string up between these metal things to block the road off. And then a nice SUV just came out of this road. And I was worried that it might be like some kind of drug harvesting up here or something. And then they see me stopped here with the camera on my face. I could get shot. It's really cool though. Like I could go explore any of these roads right now, but I gotta go meet somebody, so no exploring right now. But it's always fun, you know. Just taking a motorcycle up into the mountains and just picking different roads and just exploring. Couldn't do it on a car. Couldn't do it in a car because like a lot of these roads are so narrow and they're like uphill and stuff. Like what happens if you get to a dead end or like a gate or something? Like maybe the people who live on the road, they can drive a car up the road because they get to their gate, they open up their gate, they go in, they got a driveway that they can turn around on. But what happens if you don't live in that house, you can't open the gate, and then once you get to a dead end, like how are you going to turn around? The road's so narrow, you're just screwed. But if you're on a scooter or a motorcycle, you can pretty much just turn around on any road, so. Some mountain geese, ducks. Found out there's a stunt car demonstration going on tomorrow. Like just a bunch of guys who can like do crazy stunting and drive on two wheels and cars and all that kind of stuff. To be honest, I don't really care for that stuff too much because if you watch like a car stunt video and then you watch a motorcycle stunt video, like they don't compare. Like you can do way crazier, cooler stuff on motorcycles than you can in a car. But nonetheless, I heard it's like free to get in, and it's tomorrow at a local racetrack. So I'm gonna go buy tickets, and I did say it's free to get in. Then I said I'm gonna buy tickets. I'm gonna go pick up tickets. You need to go buy a Sept dealership, SAAB Sept. You have to go buy a Sept dealership to get tickets to get in the show. It's kind of like their way of making a commercial, you know. They get the cars to do crazy stunts, and to get the tickets to watch the cars, you have to swing by your local Sept dealerships. You go in, take a look at the cars, take a look at the prices. Then after you go see the stunt show, maybe you'll think their cars are cool, and you already know where the dealership is because you had to go there to get the tickets. So you go back and you buy a car. It's a pretty good marketing strategy. You do that for motorcycles too, right? Have some kind of like Honda or Kawasaki stunt show. Get a bunch of guys who do really cool stuff on Kawasaki bikes, and it's free to get in, but you got to get the tickets from a Kawasaki dealership. Yeah, this guy's like making a complete stop in the middle of the road, which means he's going to turn off either to the right or to the left, or maybe he's just a moron. You know, when you see someone braking like that, chances are they're going to swing a U-turn or pull off the road. So they talk about that. I read that somewhere in a motorcycle magazine or something. They're like, just remember when you're in a residential area, the SUV that's like doing half the speed limit in front of you is probably getting ready to swing into a driveway. So don't pass it. The sand, so I just braked harder than I normally would to the corner, and then I tried to take the corner when I went over the sand, I leaned my body off the bike more so that my bike would lean less, you know. Sometimes when I'm on if you're on a gravel road or something, and I want to change lanes, instead of leaning the bike to change lanes, I'll just hang my body off, and that way the bike will change lanes just from the weight of my body. Get on in your own lane. So yeah, that way the bike doesn't have to lean. The bike is most stable when it's upright. So anytime you're on sand or going over like some kind of a surface, if I'm in a bit of a corner and then I see some sand, I'll just hang my body like way off the bike, and that way the bike will actually be upright even though it's still turning. And that way I'll go over the obstacle or whatever with the bike standing up straight. And that way the tires will be the most traction. But if you're taking like a high-speed corner, then you're already leaning off the bike, and then when you have some kind of stand or something on the road, you're kind of screwed. But the thing to remember then is 9 times out of 10, you can drive over most things without it affecting your handling, as long as you don't panic. You see some sand on the road. 95% of the people, when they see some sand on the road and they're in a corner, what are they going to do? They're going to lay off the gas. They're going to brake. But now they're on a corner, which makes them somewhat unstable, and they're braking, which also makes you unstable, and they're going over sand. So, the correct thing to do is if you're going around a corner and all you see some sand on the road, is just to ignore it, just to continue on as if it wasn't there. Because that's going to enable the bike to be at its smoothest, and smooth equals stable. I'm not saying that I myself am always able to do that, but it's hard to do it. It's hard to be on a corner and see sand on the road and to not brake. Mountain towns, you gotta try to be courteous when you're going through them. Like, keep your RPMs low, maybe even holding the clutch, just kind of coast through them. I heard this happens in America as well as Taiwan, so this isn't a country thing. In a lot of countries, you get small towns like this, and you get motorcycles every weekend that blast through them, and you get the odd retarded local who gets annoyed by the noise of the bikes, so he'll come out and he'll throw some oil down on one of the corners, engine oil, or he'll, just whatever, come out and throw a bucket of water on you as you're going by from from one of the windows or something, which could shock you into crashing. It happens, I heard down south in Taiwan, in Taiwan, Taipei is the most international city, and it has the most advanced laws, and even though it still doesn't compare to the West, it's pretty close. But the farther south you go, the more country it becomes. The more, I'd say redneck, but that's only for Americans. But you know what I mean. So the more small town life you have, the farther south you go. And I heard down south you get little towns that there was specifically one town where they put engine oil all the way across the corner, and there was bikes that were crashing on it. In one day there was 15 bikes that went down in that corner, and one guy died. And it was the locals that did it because they were sick of bikes going through their town at high speeds. But it happens in America too. Actually, I read a newspaper article recently about there was some guy, and there were dirt bikes that were playing on his farm or something. So on one of the trails that the dirt bikes were riding along, he set up a rope, and he pulled the rope tight when two dirt bikes were coming. And the guy, I think, was either dead or in a coma. I got away from that girl. Two cute girls on a scooter, and they waved to me. They were too young, though. Well, they're on a scooter, so if they have a driver's license, that means they're 18 years old, right? So 18 is fair game. I don't know. I don't think I did an 18-year-old. In Taiwan, Taiwanese Taiwanese in general, they mature slower than Americans. And it's not a racial thing, that's a cultural thing. Because Taiwanese, they're in school every day from like 8 in the morning until like 9 at night. So all they do is study. They don't really get a chance to live. So like if you're a Taiwanese teenager, you don't date, you don't have girlfriends, you don't have a social life. You just go to school and go home. So they don't develop their social skills, you know. Like I've heard it compared, like I think like a 14-year-old American girl will have the same personality as like an 18, 19-year-old Taiwanese girl. Like yeah, a Taiwanese woman at the age of 20 is comparable to like a 15-year-old American girl for maturity, which is good and bad. Again, that's nothing racial. That's not like whites mature faster than Asians, and no, of course not. It's just because they don't have a time. They don't have much of a social life. You know, by the time an American girl is like 16 years old, she's already had like multiple boyfriends and is sexually active and done all those kind of things. In Taiwan, it's still fairly normal for girls to be virgins by the time they're 18, 19. Well, 18 at least, anyways. Lost my vision a bit more than my last camera did. It shouldn't, because it's actually about the same height. But the microphone is on top, and I got all this extra like padding and sponge around the microphone to kill the wind noise, and that adds like about another, I don't know, almost another centimeter to the height. So half the camera is low, and the half of the microphone is actually a bit higher than my last camera. Still doesn't block the road in front of me. It blocks about, I can't see my dash at all, and I can't see about, let's say about 4 feet directly in front of me. But why, you know, like no biker in their right mind ever looks at the ground within within 4 feet of the front tire. You should be looking like straight ahead. You know what I mean? You should be looking way down the road. Alright, now I'm out of the mountains, and I gotta go meet a friend of mine. I'm probably gonna be about 20 minutes late. I'm gonna be late because I stopped and was chatting with the people that were riding fast bikes. Let's stop the camera just to make it more convenient for me later.